hello everyone. Who's ready for a court case? Who's ready to be judged and executed? Well,
No, I don't like being judged.
I don't know about the execution part. That's a bit of a work in progress. We're still workshopping the title of that. But we recently did a whole investigation last week where people got to look into Rudy's home. And you all made plans and Redwood, just really quick, I forgot to make the token for the advisor, but I will get to that before next week, so yeah, sorry about that. Also, we need to discuss your father at some point because I've been meaning to do that and I've forgotten, so after the game just remind me if I forget. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked.
Good thing we shelved that for after the trial then.
So, the morning dawns and you all head to the courthouse to talk to the defense. You head to a small reception area where they escort you into the room where the attorney is. You see papers around. And sorry. You all slowly move to enter the room as you're escorted by the front desk. And as you get closer and closer, you all hear music in the background. And the music gets louder and louder. And then the door opens and you're able to take in this shark-like man with a smirk.
Oh no. Why would you do this?
So, the shark-like man nods to each of you, gives a wave, a little half-ass, and then he leans forward. So, I heard you guys are the accused. Or related to the accused.
Related.
He's my grandfather.
I see. Yes. So, kiddo, do you know of the current defense's or the offense's actual evidence so far?
I do, and we actually have evidence for defense against it.
I see. Any help will be grateful, though probably not needed. I got a case filled up for him.
And does that case include the testimony of the victim?
Does not actually. Now you got me intrigued. What you got, kid?
Korax and I reached out to the victim of the alleged kidnapping, and she confirmed to us flat out that my grandfather had nothing to do with it.
Huh?
Ascending spell is a wonderful thing.
Ascending spell is a wonderful thing, but it's only for the communicator. Do you have any evidence to prove that she is not related, or he is not related?
I'm ready to testify under a zone of truth.
Very well. I will have you on the stand shortly then. That's the defense. You guys got any questions for me, though?
You said... you asked if we knew what the actual evidence against him was. I have some idea, and it seems all circumstantial.
That is the boon, but also the bane, for his defense is also circumstantial. See, they all connect. They're doing him by the time of placement whenever the kidnapping occurred. They're also doing it based on when the magic circle was made, which was a year ago. You've been reported under a zone of truth to be around both times around the captive.
Just to clarify something really quick, it's not that it was a year ago. It's that all the events transpired during... All of these events coincided during a single year.
So the magic circle was made a year ago? That's what I was asking about.
No. The year that Elnath was around was the same year that the magic circle was created.
Okay. That
It
still
wasn't...
follows up with what I'm saying.
It's still the same situation, it's just clarifying because it has been a bit, is all.
So, that is what they're probably going to use, is his criminal history, which he has a decent-sized rap sheet. And
it would have been helpful to know that going in.
Well, that's what we're here to discuss today, is it not?
Considering he had to do community service back in Lundruck over an argument and about literature, I'm not surprised.
But I think the community service was for the assault.
Regardless, his rap sheet has nothing related to kidnapping. That's where I'm going to use my defense in.
We actually went into the house and Cicada showed... Can't believe I just forgot his name. Elnath. A drawing of the circle, and he confirmed it was a teleportation circle, but there was no magic in it when we were there.
Oh, that's fine. The fact the circle was drawn to begin with is also going to be used against evidence for those who are going to determine his fate, per se.
What fate?
Calm down, kid. You're getting a little hangsty against your defense attorney.
Foxy, patience.
I'm trying to explain here. So, if you want my help, or I can walk out the door and get another case.
Alright.
Alrighty. As I was saying, I'm not too sure what they're trying to charge him with fully yet. They haven't told me that. Other than kidnapping and assault. Breaking, entering, I'm assuming those are the top three. And as for the penalty, it always varies. Especially with a royal, it can be high as execution.
They better not dare.
Well, promise you I'll probably drop off the execution 100%. I got a bad feeling about this case in particular, but I had a bad feelings about other cases before, and I did go on top on them.
Yeah. You
Bad
mentioned evidence?
But the evidence is all circumstantial. That's why I have a good feeling about the actual evidence portion of the case. No matter what they do, they have no way to confirm if your grandfather was the one actually doing the deed, as they say.
He wasn't. We can confirm that.
I built up the case, and that's all I can say. I'll add in your testimony, Mr. Ryu, correct?
Yes.
Alright, I did look into you guys a little bit. So, I'll add in your testimony, and anyone else want to testify?
Just was kind of puts cross arms over her chest. She goes, I doubt anybody would take any words that I have into consideration. So I'll probably leave it to you guys.
Cicada raises her hand.
As the sister of the victim, my word, and my word as a character witness in his favor would carry a great deal of weight, I think.
It would. I'll add you 3 in total then, and just hope for the best on the end of the jury.
It helps that we've been traveling with him for at least the past few months.
As for the rest of you guys, you're all welcome to sit in the stands and watch the court unfold. Just note, do not speak out of turn. Do not speak over the court. That's all I have to say about that.
Just look as a look to Ryu.
Is there anything else you would like to know about the debriefing?
And if the prosecutor comes at me with a whip, what do I do?
Oh my god. Oh no.
This guy has charm.
That with a completely straight face.
Heckin' Francisca. No.
I don't even know her name. I just know that she's a thing.
Finish fully.
Oh no. There's only one person, and I'm pretty sure that's not the prosecutor. Hopefully. Hope. That said, I guess that's the end of the meeting. My name is Beat. It was nice to talk to you guys, at least.
My name is Cicada. Nice to meet you.
You already know my name.
Corax LSA.
Chlora Petal Jacket.
Jezebel gives a wink with a smile. Jezebel.
Dangerous people. Alrighty. I'm gonna go set up in my court, and I'll see you guys shortly and whenever it is started. Okay?
Okay.
And he carries a briefcase with him.
Alright. So you all... So just to make sure you're clear, those of you who are helping with the case, you will be sitting over here. And those of you who are just going to watch can sit in the just watching booth over here.
Okay.
So feel free to move over when you're ready, and Boot will go there.
Alright, go on there, Cora. We have something to watch. And right before they go out, she gives Ryu one more look. She goes, Foxy, remember to watch your tongue, please. Now more than ever, you must keep your temper in check.
I can't make any promises. Not.
You
like...
have to this time. She gives him an actual serious look. This is not something that we can just barge him out of. This is a systematic thing. As much as I would love to do a jailbreak, we'd rather not have you join him in behind bars.
I know this isn't something we can just barge him out of. That's what scares me.
So trust in this person that's helping us and the facts that we have. But as I said, Foxy, please, keep your temper in check. At least not for your grandfather, but also for Alex too, since you care about him so much.
Fine.
Good, Foxy. He said that she... Whoops. Dropped my earbuds out. Sorry.
Yeah,
She
we heard
says
that.
as she pats his... Yeah, I'm sorry. She pats his head and then walks out to go join in the stands.
For reference, Chlora would assist with the testimony thing, but she has no idea what she would be able to share, so she's just watching.
Jezebel will tell her, no, just stay seated, Chlora. This is for the best.
The best way you can help us now is to stay completely silent.
Yep.
Alright.
She's confused by the statement.
And the reason
Politics.
Cicada is... Sorry.
Politics are boring there, Chlora. Let's just sit in the stands and watch. It'll be more fun that way.
Cicada?
The reason...
Guys?
The reason... Sorry.
Go on.
The reason Cicada is helping is because I have notes on what Elnate said in the past.
Alright.
Nitpicking!
Well, hopefully I haven't accidentally made any plot holes. Alright.
Whoops.
So, is everyone ready?
Just find the most if you find one, just find the most outrageous excuse for the prosecutor possible, and just play that up.
Oh boy.
Go full Ace Attorney.
Alright.
Actually, before they go into the courtroom, Ryu would have one last thing to say to Jezebel. Oh, just keep an eye while you're up there in the stands. Just keep an eye out for anything suspicious. I don't trust that they'll keep this fair.
Jezebel actually gives him a bit of a dark smirk, and she goes, "You act like as if I wasn't going to do that already."
I'm just making sure. Thank you.
Trust me, dear. The way I am, no one will suspect. Well, not suspect. But the way I am, one, I'm observant, I'm patient. Plus, as I said, I will help you in any way I can. And this is the way I can help you. So help yourself by keeping that temper in check.
All right, let's go.
So, you all join the stands of people eager to watch the show. The court is fairly full, and it looks like everyone is just waiting for the persecutor. That's the word. To arrive. Persecutor. Doesn't really matter.
Those two words mean very different things, actually.
Anyway, waiting for the prosecutor to arrive. As you're waiting, you notice that the music that was coming from Beat has started getting louder again.
Oh, god damn it. No.
And a blue shark walks in and sits down at the prosecutor's desk.
What?
What?
Oh no, not again.
This really isn't the time.
I'm getting Steven Universe vibes.
No. No, it's
Beat
another
looks
fracture.
Beat looks over to the shark person and just like mutters under his breath, "Wow, that guy looks handsome."
I would slap you again if I could slap you right now, I swear.
Speak for yourself.
I wouldn't do that at their skin and is covered in barbs.
The courts all stand up, and one of the guards reads out a basic verse saying that this court is held under the eyes of the gods, that sort of thing. And then everyone sits down, and the judge begins to explain the case. Alright, so hi everyone, welcome to the court case. Let's make this fairly quick if possible. I'm hoping to have lunch with my family in 30 minutes, so let's get this all sorted and done with. So, the evidence we've got will be delivered by the defendant, and then the persecutor can give their defense. And then those of you on the court can decide if you decide what the verdict is, and we will get the accused in a zone of truth for you before you make your decision, and that will be the case. Alright. Beat, would you please step forward?
I can't control Beat.
Oh, let me fix that. Give me a second. Where's your name? Charlotte. There we go. You should be able to now.
Okay. Beat would stand up at the desk, exasperated. Well, I'm not sure how to say that word right.
Exasperated.
Exasperated.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. He slams his hands on the desk, stands up, walks over to the middle of the courtroom, and looks over to the audience. He has a glint in his eyes, a glare of like fully outrage almost. And then he looks over to Elnay, points a finger to the man, and simply states this: it is an outrage to accuse this man of such a provocative crime. Have you seen his stature? Have you seen how he looks? There's no way he would be able to commit such a crime like this. It's actually theoretically impossible based off where his whereabouts have been after the scene of the crime. Secondly, I would like to call to the stand Sir Ryu.
Oh boy.
Now, the only reason I'm not continuing that for the song for very long is because just in case copyright mutes it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's why I'm only having it for very short bursts, so that if it does get muted, then only a small bit is lost.
That's fair.
Alright, now continue.
Alrighty. Well, I called you Sans Ryu.
Alright.
Cicada does pat him on the shoulder.
Ryu, can you account for us who is your grandfather and what does he actually do for me?
Well, he mainly studies the fox hunts. He searches for the old dens that were used to hunt down as bases to hunt down my kind, so he can restore them to the temples they once were.
And are you in complete agreement that you are 100% Kitsune then?
I don't know if I would say 100% Kitsune, but I am. Seeing as my grandfather is in fact an elf, but yes, I am mostly Kitsune.
As family bloodlines goes on clashes, certainly some sort of breed would eventually come up with you guys. But my main question is, what kind of grandfather would be not caring of their people, of his grandson, if he wasn't going to go doing the fox hunts in particular, if he wasn't trying to aid in stopping them? Would he not be a kind and generous man?
My grandfather. We Kitsune, we value our family over all else. They are all we for most of us. As for most of us, they were all we had. What had when the rest of our kind was being when the rest of us were being slaughtered. Elnath, he's a savior among my people for his work in preventing the fox hunts from returning. And for all on his more frustrating qualities, I would do whatever I'll do whatever it takes I would do whatever it takes to protect him.
And oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Like the rest of my family, he means everything to me.
I see. Family. Protection. Those are strong words to give out. Didn't you also have contacted the Captain recently, Ryu?
Rudy Alize?
That is correct.
I did.
And what did she have to say?
She said, and I asked Rudy. I told Rudy my name and the name of my grandfather. Her first response was, "I don't know who you are, and I don't know who that is." I sent another sending reminding her that that he was accused of her kidnapping because the two of them read books together. To which she responded, "Oh, that guy. No."
Really quick, Ryu, you need to make a wisdom saving throw for the zone of truth. You may willingly fail it, but you may also just choose to roll if you wish. Basically, are you going to allow the zone of truth to use its magic on you?
In good faith that precautions have been made, he will allow it.
Okay, I just wanted to confirm that, so make sure you're only speaking the truth, and you may continue.
I've said just about everything I've already said has been true. So
I know. I'm just saying, make sure what you say is the truth, and you may continue.
Okay. So, as was stated by the victim, my grandfather was not involved in her kidnapping.
I see. So Mr. Elnape was not involved in Rudelis, I cannot say her name, I'm sorry, kidnapping, correct?
No, he wasn't. In fact, he didn't even know what he was wanted for. And I asked him under a zone of truth myself. He didn't know about any of this.
If there is no further statements, Mr. Ryu, I'm gonna go hand this over to the attorney, okay?
All right.
Lorax, could you please mute yourself? We can hear a lot of feedback from you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Beat.
The attorney starts to rise. Nope, he's not done with you.
The prosecutor still gets to question you.
Yep. Oh, right.
Mr. Ryu, was it?
Yes.
Now, I believe your grandfather was accused of many crimes and was prosecuted correctly under those crimes. Some were vandalism, some were outspoken to a noble, and some were, I believe, attacking, assault? Is that correct?
As I said, despite his faults, and to be blunt, he is something of a klutz.
Answer the question, Ryu. Answer the question.
Just really quick, Neku.
Yeah.
You didn't mention the evidence or lay out the evidence before launching right into Ryu, so I didn't get the chance to show everyone this. But this is the evidence. Just pretend that Beat said all this at the start before doing the talking stuff.
Listen, I had to plan an entire case for both sides.
I'm not. It's not your fault. That's the evidence there. You guys feel free to read it. And, alright, you may continue now. It's just, they kind of needed this, so I had to sort of get it to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Alrighty, so the question stated. Mr. You can please answer the question. Were these crimes, in fact, inflicted by your grandfather and purposely by your grandfather before the kidnapping even occurred and after the kidnapping has been occurred?
I don't know about before the kidnapping, but there have been many times where my friends and I have seen him incarcerated for several crimes. One was, in fact, the most recent being that he did, in fact, get into an argument with a noble over some books that, if I remember correctly, did get violent.
Over some books? Interesting. Interesting indeed. In fact, small crimes where he got caught with, it's not a big deal, correct? But what if there was a bigger scheme? What if he actually was the one kidnapped the noble? Royalty, even. Boy, he would make off with a lot of gold. I'm sure he doesn't have a lot on him right now, does he?
No. How far away is he? He's too far away for me to use telepathy. Okay. Cicada is just gesturing to him to stay calm.
The judge briefly lifts a hand and says, "Let me remind everyone in this courtroom not to speak until you have been called to the zone of truth."
But yeah, Cicada isn't talking. He's just gesturing to
Ryu
to stay calm.
I know. He's just reminding everyone.
Right.
he in the time I've been traveling with him, he has had a history of not being responsible with money. I I did offer her to help him financially once, but he refused, saying he couldn't take money from his grandson. But the second time around, he was 100 gold in debt to a tavern. I insisted, and, well, he relented.
See. So, family. It's a strong word for you guys, I suppose. Family. The ability to do anything for them. Murder, kidnapping. That seems to be a common thing for desperate people, I would call. That's all I'll say.
I don't like this other beat.
I'm gonna report him for witness intimidation when this trial is over.
Oh boy.
Not a thing. Not a thing. In this world, at least. So, as Bate finishes his thing, the judge will turn towards Bate and briefly say, are there any other questions you have for the witness?
None that has been stated, sir. That Ryu views Elnath as someone kind, generous, and always looking out for him.
Alright, you may return to your seat, Mr. Ryu, and we will now bring the accused to the zone of truth.
Boy.
You may begin your defense.
Pete stands up and walks next to Mr. Elnath. Mr. Elnath, have you ever entered Miss Rudy's house?
Well, yes.
And how did you get in?
Well, she escorted me inside.
Did you know that there is a password normally to let someone inside her house?
I did not.
Do you know the password?
No.
Alright. Does the Zone of Truth trigger anything?
Nope, he's telling the truth.
Excellent.
Is it
and
books?
What have you...
Is it books?
Oh, no. No. Regardless, my next question is, since you got inside, she let you inside, correct?
Yes.
And you examined the books, as that was your purpose for the visit, correct?
Yes, I was using them to conduct research to uncover ancient hunting sites.
And have you found what you're looking for?
I did, yes, and I headed north.
You headed north after you have found what you're looking for.
Yes.
And that was the last you've seen of her, correct?
Yes.
How long did you study the books?
Well, I'm not too sure. I lost track of time. As an elf, the years kind of flash by rather quickly, but yeah, I'm not too sure.
I see. And as stated by your grandson, Rudy didn't even know your name. Found that a little strange, don't you?
Well, we didn't really exchange names.
I see. That's good. So that means you were just barely acquaintances, correct?
Well, yes.
I see. And did you draw the teleportation circle in the basement?
There's a long pause.
Mr. Elnath, answer the question.
Oh no.
Yes.
Oh god.
Why did you draw the circle, Mr. Elnath?
I was showing her how to draw it.
You were
Oh
teaching
boy.
Miss Rudy magic, correct?
Well, not a lot, but I did teach her a little bit.
Including teleportation.
Well, I mean, she didn't have the magic required to cast it, but I showed her how to carve the circle.
So you never used the circle, is that correct?
Yes.
I see. And the circle, explain to me what the circle can do for everyone here, if you don't mind.
It allows you to teleport up to 10 people to that location.
And based on the evidence, someone got into Miss Rudy's house and teleported her away. But you, by the time that happened, were still in town and just left recently. Is that correct?
Yes.
That is all.
The prosecution may now ask their questions.
Mr. Elnath, I have recalled that Miss Rudy has let you in the house. Is that correct?
Yes.
Were you aware that there was no struggle in the house, Mr. Elnath? That means that she didn't put up a fight when she was teleported.
Yeah, no. No, I wasn't. Ow.
Are you aware that means that the possible of her teleporting, the possibility was only based off that she knew the person and that she let him inside, taught her how to do magic per se, and then teleported both of them out? Would that not be an easy thing to do?
Well, yes, I would not even really need the teleportation circle to do that.
State one more time what the teleportation circle does for everyone here, just to clarify.
It allows others to teleport into or to an area.
To an area. Interesting. So you're telling me that someone could have teleported inside Miss Rudy's house, grabbed her while she was unaware, and teleported out. Is that correct?
Well, yes.
Let me ask you one more question, Mr. Elnath. If that was the case, it wouldn't matter where you have been for this crime to occur. The fact that you drew the circle means it's connected to you. Is that correct?
I suppose.
For a wizard of such high caliber, this would be an easy task, especially when they were already in the house, setting up the teleportation.
Yes.
Let me ask you one final question. Can anyone else use that circle besides you? And if so, how?
Well, yes, anyone who who had seen that specific circle could use it.
And how much of an accomplished wizard would you be able to do if you see that circle and be able to use it? What level spell is that?
1 second.
Yeah, I need to look that up.
Well, I'd say maybe a mid-level wizard. Not your average wizard, but like anyone who went to the Elf Academy like I did would be able to.
Oh yeah, it's a 5th level spell.
A mid-level wizard, then.
Yes.
So you're saying any wizard with the ability, such as yourself, or greater, or a little bit less than, would be able to see the circle and teleport in and out?
Yes.
But the circumstance says the teleportation circle has been used. And if Miss Rudy doesn't let anyone inside the house within that year, besides what witnesses said, you, yourself, what other wizard would have been able to do it?
I don't know.
That is all.
You say the people over here briefly, quietly discuss together over that.
This isn't looking good.
The judge briefly nods their head. The defense may question the accused if they wish, or they may move on to their next case. Next bit of evidence, I should say.
Beat will stand up. Mr. Elnace, during Ryu's testament, and as yourself, you don't even know the captor, the captive. You didn't even know her name, is that correct? Beforehand.
Yes, I only know her name as, I only found out her name yesterday, I believe it was.
Now,
I mean,
with that said,
I knew that that there was a Rudy and that I didn't connect the two together until yesterday.
very good. With that stated, if the teleportation to circle is designed to enter the house, why would you need to enter the house that way if you can just enter normally if she trusted you that much?
Well,
would you have used a circle for that reason?
well, no, unless I was far away or needed to teleport in a larger group, I would have just used the front door.
Correct. So the teleportation circle you're saying would be considered unnecessary to enter the house for you.
For the most
especially
part.
since you've been around. I'm sorry. Especially since you've been around the area for the same duration as their kidnapping.
For the most part, yes.
And I'll ask the last thing. You have been in the Elf City at the same time as her kidnapping, and you just left recently during that time, is that correct?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
I'm saying that has Elnath been in the Elf City before Rudy's kidnap, and then he just left after her kidnap?
Well, yes, I attended the academy here.
So, as the last statement says, you wouldn't need to use a teleportation circle, but it was used to enter her house. There was no sign of damaging on the door as to show a break-in, so why not would you just walk in? Would you just walk in the door just to take her away, perhaps?
I didn't take her away, though.
That's what I'm looking for. Thank you, Mr. Elness. And with a nod, Beat will move to sit down.
Alright, the judge gives a nod and looks to the prosecution. Abe?
There are no more questions.
Alright. Elnath is brought back over to the defendants, and the judge looks to Beat. Are there any other witnesses you would like to bring up forward?
I would like to call in the Kenku named Cicada to stand.
Okay. Okay.
And then Beat will stand up on cue.
Alright, you may begin.
Miss Cicada, what is your affiliation with the defendant?
Sorry, you're cutting out there. Could you repeat that?
Oh, I said Cicada. Miss Cicada, what is your affiliation with the defendant?
Before that, Zone of Truth, do you willingly fail? Do you try to resist?
I willingly fail it.
Okay, you
I
may.
have nothing to hide.
Okay, you may continue.
Do you have any affiliation? What is your affiliation with the defendant?
Elnaith is my friend.
And how long have you known Mr. Elnaith?
Hold on, let me check. I have a note on this. I swear. It was roughly. Oh gosh, it was probably several months.
Several months. And have you seen this man have the capability of kidnapping someone? Have they done similar crimes to that?
Similar crimes. No. None that I have seen.
Has he deliberately harmed people for his own gain?
Have I seen him do that? I'm not sure. Probably no.
Thorax, we can hear you mumbling.
Alrighty, next question. What was Elnaith's reaction when you showed him the teleportation circle?
He recognized it, but yeah, he recognized it almost immediately.
So he knew the circle. Did he mention training the captain recently?
Sorry, could you repeat that again?
Did he mention training with the captain, as in teaching her some spells?
He did, didn't he? Oh no. Oh. She nods.
So, would you say that the entire extent of their relationship was just books and magic training?
Books and magic training, yes.
That was his purpose. If he
Indeed.
was to train the captor or captain, then why would he take her away afterwards?
I don't know.
It doesn't make much sense.
No, it doesn't.
What is your relationship with the rest of the group, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah. All friends.
And lastly, did Mr. Elnaith act strange whenever he was accused of this? What was his demeanor like?
Demeanor.
What was his reaction to whenever he was accused of such a trial to happen?
What are the right words for this? Panicked. Unsure.
But he didn't look guilty, did he?
No. Not guilty.
Do you believe Mr. Elnath to not be guilty of this crime after knowing him for a good period of time?
Yes. He is very clumsy, gets himself in trouble often, but not capable of kidnapping.
You say he is up to mischief, but nothing too serious or dangerous, correct?
Yes. Yes.
That is all. Thank you.
Prosecution may now ask their questions.
Oh boy.
Miss Takeda, you're a Kenku, correct?
Yes?
So you can repeat words that you have heard. Is that correct?
Words that I have heard, yes.
But you cannot say your own words.
No.
That's a lie.
Alright, yes. Yes, actually.
You can't tell lies. Zone of truth.
That's right.
Zone of truth.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, interesting. So you must be a rare species of Kenku.
Sure. Special powers.
Special powers. Interesting. So, you know Elnath for a good solid few months, is that correct?
Yes.
Would you say a good solid few months is enough to know a person's true identity? To
I'd
know
say
who
so.
they are? Some would say so. Some would give that trust too easily. I, however, don't see it that way. I can hide secrets that for over a good few years that'll never get discovered. I'm sure he can do the same, easily. A wizard of his caliber could easily hide the fact that he has kidnapped someone. Is that not correct?
She looks over to Elnath for a moment, and then back at Tube. And she just shakes her head.
The judge speaks up and says, You must say your words. Shaking your head is not considered evidence as it is not affected by the zone of truth.
No.
So, you believe that Elnath would simply just walk in to Miss Rudy's house, ask her just for some books and magic lessons, and then you just hear her slam on the table by the defendant. Objection. I do not agree with this man's attacking my one of my witnesses. Speak factually or don't speak at all. I'm just speaking the truth. May I continue?
The judge glances between the two and then says, Overruled, you may continue.
Oh.
Miss Cicada. I believe that if you were to see a teleportation circle being used, one would assume that it was being used by someone who has seen it, of course. The only one who saw it that we know so far is Mr. Elnath. He could have made an alibi by saying he's still in the city that way, and it would have been easy to escape. Would that not make sense to you?
Teleportation circle needs to be maintained every day. Was not active. Never was. When I saw it. Not permanent.
A not permanent teleportation circle, say.
Huh.
It does not need to be permanent if it's been used for the crime, though. And the only one who was ever in the house in the basement was Mr. Elnath.
Do you have any further questions for the witness?
That is all. Thank you.
Defense, do you have any further questions for the witness? Otherwise, please call over your next witness.
I would like to call Mr. Korax LSA.
Sorry, wasn't that being that helpful? Oof.
Korax, you are muted.
You said Mr.
I did. You can correct me if you want. I am juggling 3 characters. You should not blame me for that.
No, Korax, no. Hold on, no. Korax just pauses from the table before heading in. And your legal documents haven't been updated lately, have they?
What do you mean by that?
You said Mr. And she just walks. And she just walks right into the zone of truth and deliberately submits herself to it.
All right. Are you ready? You may begin your questioning.
Pete will stand up afterwards and I'll walk next to Miss Korax. And I started asking the question. Miss Korax, what is your affiliation with Mr. Elnath?
I've been traveling with him for a few months now. And as I have recently learned, it would seem he had some prior acquaintance with my youngest sister.
That seems to be the case. Do you believe Mr. Elnath to be accused of this crime, or actually have done the crime of kidnapping your sister?
No. Not
and
the
why
slightest.
Is
that? Because in leaving, the man is good-natured, short-sighted, and incapable of subtlety. Hardly the master criminal that the prosecution seems to be trying to paint him as. In fact, well, you all bring up his previous criminal record. I have seen him try to commit a very similar break-in before and fail miserably. And the wards on my sister's house are far stronger than anything the poppycocks can come up with. I do not think he is capable of kidnapping my sister in this manner, even if he wished to.
Mentioned wards. He didn't even know the password to get into her house, so he couldn't sneak in, as you said. And there is no way he would use the teleportation circle to suddenly grab her and get out. Is that correct?
And no. If he did, it would have been very obvious.
See, this man isn't smart enough to lie. Is that correct? You can tell right through him.
He is good-natured, short-sighted, and incapable of subtlety.
Is there any additional comments you'd like to make to the stance for us?
And only to repeat what I have said, I do not think, and I do not think he had the motive nor the means to do this crime. Also, you have had my sister's testimony.
That we did. Thank you, Miss Korax. And he would move to sit down.
The prosecution may now begin their questioning.
Miss Korax, I believe you mentioned he was.
I'm sorry. Give me a minute. I think my cat got out. Just give me a second.
Okay.
So, and the judge has been unprofessional throughout this room, and now he's letting his cat wander around.
Yeah, no.
I'm going to report him when this is over.
This is not canon. This is non-canon.
Cicada's photographic memory is our own personal recorder.
False alarm. She was just meowing for random reasons. It just sounded super soft. Sorry about that. It just had a mild panic attack.
Well, now that the judge has dealt with his cat, you may continue, prosecutor.
Miss Korax, I believe. I believe that. Oh, yeah, gosh, I lost my train of thought.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
Korax was saying that he doesn't believe Elnath is capable of lying.
Oh.
I'm paraphrasing to help.
Yeah.
You believe this man to be innocent, yet you only known him for a few months.
And you believe him to be guilty, and you've only known him for a few minutes. I do believe he's innocent.
But the evidence points towards him the only one to be capable of actually doing such a crime. That we know. Is that not correct?
Any number of people... Any number of people can cast teleportation circle. It is not It is not a particularly difficult spell.
No, but it does take a year to set up, which a year that he had time to do.
And once it is set up, it can be cast by anyone.
So you're suggesting that someone else was able to see the circle, go into her house, which is warded and protected by a password, go down to see the circle, and is able to cast it outside later on. So,
I am not here to speculate. That is evidently your job. All I know is that Elnath has never once demonstrated the scheming mastermind and mindset that would be required to pull off a conspiracy like this.
Given his circumstances, I don't believe it was really much scheming. It's pretty simple, honestly. He made the circle, the teacher asked to befriend her, then he used the circle later on to teleport over there, take her away, and cast teleport to another location. It's not that hard if you really think about it.
And do you have any actual questions for me, or do you just want me to weigh in on your conspiracy theories?
That are not theories, if not conspiracies, that's all. And then he moves it down.
Does the defendant have any final questions?
I do, in fact. Beat walks up. Miss Corax, do you know who might be able to kidnap your sister, perhaps?
And I do, in fact. Well, when she disappeared, I took a leave of absence from the Order of the Dragon to go look for her. I believe members of my family, some others among the royal court, will be able to corroborate this. And all evidence indicates that a cult was responsible. I've not been able to find much information about them, but I also know that my sister was subsequently able to escape from them. And now she is somewhere in the Valley of Life and Death. I do not know exactly where.
I see. So you believe a cult is responsible for
that? From what I could tell, multiple cults appear to have been fighting over her.
So, that is all I will ask then. Thank you, Miss Corax.
Nods.
You may return to your seat. Once Corax has sat down, the judge will look to Beat and say, "You may begin your final verdict."
I would like to call Mr. Elnath to stand once more.
Final verdict, as in wrap up your case. But okay.
This will determine the entire case, I feel.
Well, you typically don't call witnesses for your final verdict. You just say, "This is what I believe," based on the evidence.
I'm gonna do that later.
Okay.
I just want to do one more thing. I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
Beat brings out a suitcase, and he walks over to Elnath after unlocking it, showing a picture. It was the picture that was left in the evidence room from Miss Rudy's basement. Do you know what this is, Mr. Elnath? He shows the picture of the cult symbol.
A symbol of fire?
Is that all it is to you?
Is it meant to indicate something more?
He pauses at this, pondering a bit. And then he says, "This is the symbol left behind an accused cult. And you did not even know what it was."
It's fire. If that's what... No, I guess I didn't.
That is all I will ask from you. Thank you.
The prosecution may make their counter statement.
It's just a symbol. That's all he says, and that's all he's going to do for a statement.
Alright. The defense may begin their final verdict.
Now, everyone here that has seen the testimonies of the witnesses and the attack that has been brought to my defendants by the prosecution. You all seen the pictures of the cult that was responsible for Miss Rudy's disappearance. It will be injustice, unlawful even, for the defendant to be charged guilty of something that he did not even remotely do. He couldn't possibly have done fully. Doesn't have the ability to do. Do not let this man go into jail. He does not deserve it. That is all.
The prosecution may now make their closing statement.
This man, crafty it seems, is able to outwit a lot of people, gain their trust, which is a common theme here when it comes to Miss Rudy's case. I do believe he is guilty of this, and I'll be damned if I see him walk another day free. Do what is in your heart's right and convict this man.
The judge gives a nod, and then he stands up and motions to the jury. You may go into the other room and decide on your verdict. They all briefly head into another room, and after about, say, a minute, they all come back out, and one of them stands up while the rest... One of them stays standing while the rest sit. The judge nods, and they begin to speak. We find the defendant guilty.
What?
Of the crimes of breaking and entering, thievery, and insulting a noble. We find the evidence for the kidnapping of Rudy consequential at best and are unable to give a verdict until such a time that further evidence is discovered. The judge gives a nod and points his hammer at Elnath. You are sentenced to a fine and community service. The court is adjourned. And he slams down the hammer.
Been so much worse.
B just lets out a breath.
I wonder if it'll be and just Korax just wonders out loud. I wonder if the dump tank will be full of pear wine this time.
Let's not do the dump tank thing again.
Was that loud enough for Cora to hear?
No, probably not.
Elnath,
Said it out loud,
guys, you're getting distracted. Elnath will look to Beat and then simply say, "Thank you. What sort of community service?" And I'll let you decide this one, Beat.
Oh boy.
Well, the place needs a lot of cleaning up, so probably about 30 days picking up litter.
What?
And in your case, I would give you a break on that, Ashley, and I'll have you go to Nobles and read them a book of their choosing.
What?
Could be worse.
Oh, just kill me now. And
Don't say that in the courtroom.
Does it have to be the entire book?
Every letter.
And then Korax is she's just gonna cast message as messy. John, beat real fast. Put me down for the Silmarillion if you would.
oh my god. Oh my god.
What is this?
Lord of the Rings.
Alright.
Guys,
It
wait. It's
basically the backstory of the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, it's like 5 times the size of the Lord of the Rings. And wait, what were you trying to say, Cicada?
I was gonna use telepathy on Elnath and say, Elnath, we love you, but you kind of deserve this.
No.
Jezebel just gives a shrug with a smile. She goes, "Could be worse."
So, with the court finishing up and the punishment given to Elnath on a slip of paper, you all exit, and Elnath simply rumbles as he follows you out and says, "I'll just skip town and never return."
And trying to break parole will land you back in that courthouse.
Ryu just hugs Elnath, tears streaming down his face. Thank goodness. I was fearing the worst.
I told you it would be okay. I mean, I didn't know for certain, but at best their evidence was all circumstantial. They didn't have any actual proof that I'd done it.
And you didn't do it.
Right.
Roll insight on that.
Rudy's confirmation should have been enough.
It's not about if it's enough. They have to go through the official procedures, which means they have to go through it bit by bit and examine every single piece of evidence. So even if one piece of evidence was, big enough proof, they still have to go through everything.
Yeah. Speaking of official procedures, Cicada, that lawyer Tabe, you didn't like him, did you?
She shakes her head no.
Well, you're a living recording of everything that was said just now. Shall we go report him for malpractice? Open speculation and witness intimidation in the court. Not a good look for him.
Oh boy. I mean, you could probably do that off screen with Cicada.
So
Jezebel actually smiles. She goes, "I like him."
Who, the prosecutor?
No, I mean I like you even more now, correct?
Oh, because you said him.
My bad. Yep.
So
I'm getting used to
again.
That. Thank you.
Anyway.
To be fair, Korax is 6 foot tall. Korax is 6'5" with a relatively deep voice. That has not changed much, even with the sex change. So
okay, so you guys make the complaint. They put it down. They do the official stuff, and you're all free to do whatever. What would you like to do?
Before Elnath gets taken away,
He's not.
I would like to ask. Sorry?
He's not being taken away. They've brought him his stuff, so he's free to go.
Oh, but he still has to do community service for
Yeah. Like, they got a guard following him and reminding him that he has to do it.
Alright. So, hey, Elnath. Do you still have notes on where the rest of the Kitsune hunting dens could possibly be?
Well, I visited all the ones I'm aware of. I was doing research into any that could potentially be south, but, well, then I ran into some issues with, certain nobles' taste in books, and then then things happened, but, it's alright.
Okay.
Hey. Promise me you're not gonna do that again? The fighting over the books thing. I
promise I will do my best to not get put into court or jail again.
That's specific enough.
Yeah, we're not even in the same room as that zone of truth anymore, and I can hear it going off from here.
Oh, hello there, Charlotte. What a lovely day it is.
Hmm?
Isn't it just a very wonderful day, not being, about to have my head chopped off or your head chopped off? And, yes, it's all very, very, very lovely.
Thought you said mention my name, but yeah, I'm glad you're out.
Of course I mentioned your name. You're Charlotte. We're, well, I mean, we haven't talked much, but, well, now we've talked a bit, so, yeah.
But you were further away from Korax.
So,
this is awkward. And this is awkward. Who wants? And who wants to go to a magic store not run by Mercy?
There are magic stores not run by Mercy?
He hasn't quite squeezed out all the competition yet. Actually, I'm pretty sure he's banned from this city. There was some kind of, I don't remember the details, but apparently he got accused of some sort of crime.
Huh?
Like I said, this is new. Jezebel says looking a little bit bored, and then she'll go over to Ryu, and then she'll give him a bit of a nudge on his back with her shoulder towards Charlotte. And she gives him a look. Hmm?
Ryu does go up to Charlotte, and he looks nervous.
Jezebel, and then right before that gives grin, she goes, well, I may not be into magic, but I wouldn't mind seeing this magic shop if you'd like to lead the way, dear Korax.
This sounds like fun.
This is the first time. Been back in back home for 2 days, and now I can finally start to relax.
Yes, Ryu.
We'll see about that after our taking dear Cora to a magic shop.
Yep.
Kate is going to join them.
alrighty.
Lawful good is so fun now that I finally got a handle on it.
Oh boy. I'm only neutral good, so.
I'm neutral chaotic, so let's see if something interests me.
Alignment is
Chaotic
fake
neutral.
news. Anyway, Ryu?
Yes,
Yeah?
Ryu.
What are you doing, Ryu?
So, Ryu, he looks nervously at Charlotte, and she says, the others are going. The others keeps telling me I should apologize, and considering that things didn't go as bad as they could have, I suppose I agree. So, I'm sorry if I was harsh to you.
Charlotte crosses her arms as she raises a brow. That wasn't hard for you. Jackson, Ron, Mary, Eldrick, Bell, Mick. Do those names mean anything to you?
Out of character, has Ryu heard the names before?
Nope.
The names themselves, they're not familiar to me. Why?
Those are the names of people I've lost recently. They were my family.
But didn't you at least know Elnath was my family?
I did. But I'm not saying I was right. I'm also a kind of guy that would also give into the law if needed. It just was programmed into me or built into my mind. And I didn't know what crimes he had before I turned him in. I'm sorry for it going out this wild.
Well,
But those
given...
people, they all smiled at me. And even the people back in the forest, they still believed in me. That's what mattered to me. And that hurts in time.
Just like my grandfather believed in me this entire time.
Exactly. But the difference between you and me, Ryu, with that, my friends are dead.
There's... How... If it's not too hard, if it's not too much for me to ask, how did they die?
They were slaughtered under my command because they had faith in me. Each one of them pledged loyalty, as we all pledged loyalty to Yell City. And were sent out to an impossible odd winds just to die. For easy payoffs for the boss.
Your entire unit was just sold out for coin?
Yes.
Gods.
24 people. 6 of them are alive. That number might not mean much to you, Ryu, but that number means a lot to me.
I don't... I may not know what it's like to be a soldier, but I am a member of... I am a member of an endangered race, so I know every person is important.
And I know you do. Just remember that you're not the only one who's in pain from this.
Charlotte, it's not too much for me to say. I understand you just wanted to find out what he was wanted for. And I respect that, but in considering that, I do want to say what you could do better in the future going forward as a member of our group.
Go ahead.
Next time you want to know anything, you come to us first. Not the guards. Not even a government body. Us. Korax and I, well, we have a history of doing well at gathering information in circumstances just like the one we faced in Lundruk, and it's worked out well for us so far. So, if there's something you want to know, leave it to Korax and I to find out for you.
I did an investigation for him too, you know.
I know. Cicada was there. She told me. You tried to help my grandfather too, and I appreciate that.
I didn't do much good.
You did enough. You did enough to let me know you meant no harm. Now, let's go find the others before they get themselves into any more trouble, all right?
All right. And they'll head to the magic shop.
Okay.
Alright. So, the magic shop is... Actually, let me just quickly change this music to, this will do. So, you open the door and you're led into an elf-run establishment with, just a fairly average-looking elf, black hair, bit of a snobby expression as usual for elves, Oh yes, welcome to my magic shop. How may I help you?
Just browsing for the moment.
So, the shop is filled with a wide range of magic items. They've got bags of holding, they've got, like spell scrolls. All around, like, if you're looking for something in particular, you could probably roll an investigation and you might find it here. And they don't have as many sales or specials as Mercy does. However, they do have one small item held in a glass case at the front that's being advertised for 50 GP.
Oh, look at that.
There's one thing Korax kind of wants, but I doubt I'm gonna get it with the money I have right now.
So, the item in question looks very similar to a bag of holding. However, the top is slightly open, and you can see two googly eyes and a derpy little smile peeking out at you.
God, I'm smiling at this.
Is this what I think it is? Oh, never mind.
Yes, this is my art.
Now I'm forever sad, but at the same time it's cute.
You should read what it does very closely, Neku.
Yeah. Bag of slime. This bag turns materials into components, such as an iron sword into iron bars.
I want it.
Imagine stuffing a person into that thing.
Oh god. I don't think that's possible. It have to be.
No. You guys don't understand. I need this.
Yeah.
I'll let you have it.
Not so disappointed now, are you?
In the meantime, is there an amulet of health around?
Roll investigation.
Okay. Like, ugh. God damn it.
Alright. You don't find an amulet of health, but that's because Jezebel is looking at it currently.
Okay. I was technically looking for something else, but this will be fun flavor. So I'm basically just kind of like holding it by the string, watching it just twirl in my hand, like And then I give it a toss and let it clank on top of Corax's head. There you go.
Thank you. What's the price tag on it?
Yeah, you're gonna have to leave that with me, but in the moment, with out doing some research, I'd probably say around 2,000 gold.
Yeah.
Like I said, I will get back to you with a proper price in a bit. This is just off the cuff, 2,000 gold, just based on its effects.
That is a bit
Okay.
under. That is about 8 times what I have.
Yeah, it's a rare item, so.
Yeah. Oh well.
I
mean, I don't really need it, but I would like it. But higher, like a much higher con stat would be nice. Oh well.
So, what are you looking for, Jezebel?
I'm looking for a scroll or such that can help me. I'm throwing a blank right now for some reason. Help me look for someone.
You mean like a scrying spell?
Thank you. Yes, the name eluded me for some reason. What the heck?
Alright, so scrying is 5th level. And let me just...
It's gonna be pretty expensive.
So 5th level is that price.
Oh, that's expensive.
Ugh,
That's
that
a
is
lot of
much.
gold. At Cicada.
That'll be
before
50
looking
gold. One sec, Cicada. That'll be 50 gold.
Charlotte just like digs into her pocket, leans over the counter with she's small, and like barely reaches the counter and drops the coin.
He takes
One
it.
bag of slime, please.
He takes it, takes out the bag of slime, and hands it to you. And then he puts a little sold out sign in the glass box.
this.
You now have a big slime with googly eyes in it.
The slime's name is
Unlimited.
Slorp.
Slop, you are going to give me unlimited power.
Alright. Now, Cicada, what were you saying?
Okay, I'm just gonna look through any 3rd or 2nd level spell scrolls with the ritual tag on it.
Okay. 1 second while I pull up the list of spells with rituals. And yeah.
I can only learn 2nd to 3rd level, so
Alright.
2nd and 3rd, or first, or just up to 3rd level at the moment.
So, let's see. You could have Meld into Stone, Phantom Steed, Lehman's Tiny Hut, Find Familiar, Identify, Gentle Repose. That's a reminder, if you do get Identify, you need to get the Pearl. Detect Magic, Beast Sense, Animal Messenger, Alarm, Purified Food and Drink, Gentle Repose, Water Walk, Water Breathing, Pensa's Floating Disc, Skywrite. That's about it, really.
Okay, let me just look. I'll need to look through all of these. I'll let everybody else.
Yeah, feel free to look through them. All you have to do is go to the eye, then click on the spells category, and then click filter results.
Okay.
I'm going to drop one of my spare hammers into this bag.
Alright. The hammer is metal and wood, right?
Yes.
Alright. You all hear a slurp sound, and then as Neku slips their hand into the bag, they pull out one iron ingot and like a piece of lumber. Like a small piece of lumber.
This is cool.
Okay, I think I picked up a spell, and I want to pick up Speak with Animal.
Alright, well give me a second. Neku, your hand
Yes.
now smells like mint.
Ooh.
So you wanted to pick up Speak with Animals? Okay, give me a second.
It's only 1st level.
Yeah, just a second. I accidentally closed out of the ritual spells. 1st level. Yeah, blah 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 blah. So a 1st level spell would be 100 GP.
100. Okay.
Yep.
I have enough to get it, but I don't have enough for the components to copy it in my spell book.
Oh, you can always get it and then copy it later.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh.
I'm going to buy a scroll of Speak with Animals.
Alright, it's all yours.
Alrighty.
I'm going to do one more investigation.
What are you looking for?
Nothing.
Okay.
Yay.
You nearly lose your bag, but fortunately for you, Pointy reminds you to pick it up before you leave.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Well, Korax ain't done yet.
Yes?
It feels crass to name the thing in particular. It feels. And I'll just name the thing. So, start with an amulet of the devout.
Amulet of the Devout.
Devout.
Okay. I'd say you could probably get that for, say, 300 gold.
And I'm a little bit short. So Chunk put that one down as a maybe for the moment. and uh, also just on a whim, I'm also going to see if there's any gauntlets of ogre power around.
Okay. The price would be the same as the first one you investigated, though.
Pretty. And oddly enough, I don't think it will, because I'm pretty sure gauntlets of ogre power are actually uncommon.
Either way, yeah, you don't see any.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Clara is going to look for. Let's see. There's investigation.
Mm-hmm.
A cloak of displacement or a cloak of protection.
A cloak of displacement or a cloak of protection.
I'm still going to list for other things that might be good, but that's what I've encountered so far.
Well, yeah. You're unable to find them. And, you will notice that most of the items in this store are 300 gold and above.
Most of them, except for the first level spell scrolls.
Clara has a sad look.
Yeah.
And she's like, I guess I'll get more money later, I guess.
Yeah, like, Korax looks at the amulet of shrugs, puts it down. And we don't. We do not. Oh well.
Alright. So, is there anything else anyone would like to do?
Yeah.
Do you think anyone can spare 30 gold so I can get the ink that I need to copy this spell down?
I gotcha.
Korax was about to offer, but okay.
Okay.
Yeah, like, the thing I'm tempted to get out of character, it would probably not be for sale in any kind of store, and even if it was, it would be way too suspicious for Korax to suddenly buy it.
So,
And if I do get the components, I'll just be left with 1 gold.
Cicada. I would like the cloak back. It's not needed.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And she gives you the Cloak of Elvenkind back.
Okay. Thank you. And Charlie will hand over an additional 5 gold for you.
Oh, thank you very much.
So, you all make your purchases or not purchases, and you head out. Is there anything you guys would like to do before we wrap this session up?
Just take the time to take a short rest over at the inn and just copy that spell scroll down.
Alrighty. Anyone else?
I'm gonna go make some items.
Alrighty. Just remember to go over with me for them because yeah.
Oh no, I will. I actually have questions about that later, so we'll order. Okay.
Yeah,
Alright.
like, I believe now that we're level 6, you can actually get some better stuff, right?
There is
I already made a breastplate, but that's about it.
there is a blacksmith in the town, of course. I just didn't think to put it on when I was drawing the map. Anyway, if everyone else is all set and doesn't have anything else they would like to do this session, then I suppose
Ryu does want to talk to Korax.
Go for it.
Oh, when he gets a chance, Ryu does approach Korax and asks him, and does approach Korax with, say, Korax, since we're here and we don't have to worry about the case anymore, or perhaps you could take this opportunity to talk to your family?
I have spoken with them. Unfortunately, my father is not here, and I cannot access their records without his authorization.
Records?
And if my father like looks around to make sure it's private, if my father is doing anything improper, given what our business actually is, I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure who we would even be taking bribes from. But well, you never know.
This is about what Charlotte said, Ed, isn't it?
It's eating at me, and I want to make sure it's nothing. So I'm going to just discreetly check the records to make sure everything is what it's supposed to be.
Fair enough. There's actually now that I can think about it. Now that
I don't know what my father did in our world. We're assassins in this world. Who exactly would even be bribing us?
I don't know, but there is something else. There is something else that's been eating away at me that I think should be mentioned. But that's a topic best brought up with the entire group together.
Indeed.
Alright, Cicada and Charlotte, do you want to do that? Or...
Yeah. Oh, I was about to type that out, but yeah, I can do
it. And is this about the drag? Is it about the Ragan Day, the Agon Dre side of your grandfather?
No.
I was gonna say that after looking at past notes, Jezebel did show him the mark on her neck, and Elnath didn't have much of a reaction to that.
Wait, no. Just
because I would point out that if he did turn out to be one of the metallic variety, he'd basically have diplomatic immunity here.
So...
Well...
Yeah, just really quick. Charlotte, yeah, you can just resume typing.
Okay.
Continue now, Ryu.
Well, this is kind of related, but it has more to do with us than it does my grandfather. I mean, don't you think it's weird? Me and Jezebel, Clara, Cicada, and Atropos, we were all connected. None of us knew each other, yet something connected all of us. And here we are, traveling as a group together. Do you really think that's a coincidence?
And life is a thousand different coincidences. It's Ryu. People only call it fate in hindsight.
Even by coincidence standards, what are the chances is that somebody who made it her life's mission to protect the steel dragons would just happen across somebody with some connection to them, even if it is just indicated by an amulet, and
someone who made it her life's mission to protect steel dragons sounds like exactly the kind of person who would run into people connected to steel dragons.
Come to think of it, she did mention that she noticed my amulet when we first met, so you've got a point there. But there's something else. But there's something I can chop up to a coincidence even less. Clara knew a song since birth that just happened to have the ability to pacify Atropos.
And Chlora singing will put anyone to sleep, and then wake anyone up right afterward.
Maybe so. Oh, but
I was joking for you. That is weird. Yes.
Even if you can explain me and Jezebel, there's still a lot of questions to be asked about Chlora and Cicada. In fact, how much do we really know about Chlora?
When you ask this question, you hear Clara in the distance go, it didn't work.
Well, we know she's bad at puzzle boxes for one thing.
Why haven't any of us taken that thing away from her after all this time?
Because if she didn't have it, she'd spend all her time playing that accursed guitar.
Point taken. Well, should I leave you to take care of your family member matters?
I won't be able to do that until my father gets home. I'll rejoin the rest of you.
And when will that happen?
All I know is after the trial. He's away on business, so.
I see.
Drugs.
Well, I want to stay here for a while longer and make sure my grandfather is situated anyway. I'm still worried about his safety, considering there was foul play involved with that case.
Yeah, Elnath is currently, quietly chatting up, one of the civilians and trying to convince them that books are holier than the gods.
Oh god, no, not again.
That... You don't say that in this city unless you want to have fruit thrown at you in the street.
Stop it.
And it looks like I'm gonna have to stop him sooner than I expected. I'll talk to you later, Corax.
Right, and Corax is, you know what? Corax is, Cicada could use some common ground right now. DM, if I may, one last thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna, dart over to Rudy's house real quick.
Yeah?
Do you have any spell scrolls lying around? Of the ritual variety?
I'll have to think on that. I'll get back to you. Because Rudy didn't really have a lot of ritual spells to start with. So
you don't got time for rituals.
So I'll give it some thought.
Yeah, I just figured, a year spent under Elneth as tutelage, there might be something lying around.
I'll get back to you. Besides, don't forget I need to have a talk with you after the session.
Yeah, this is a small thing. It doesn't really matter all that much.
Anyway, is there anything else anyone wants to do?
I'm done.
Can I just say, as Corax is stepping out of Rudy's home, he hears off in the distance, it's Elnath's voice, rambling nonsense, and along with Ryu's voice apologizing profusely.
I mean, you don't have to agree with me, but I just think you should consider the implications that knowledge is power, and therefore those who have the greatest knowledge have the greatest power. Therefore, the libraries are a type of god.
And also also somewhere in there is telling Ryu to let him go, as he's dragging him away from the civilians he's harassing.
You know, we could just sleep him in the Temple of Dragal. He'd probably have a great time there.
Oh god.
Knowledge is power, guarded well, is literally their motto.
The thing about knowledge is, knowledge may be power, but knowledge can be dangerous.
And Vierna says that makes it even more interesting.
God.
Power can be dangerous too, you know. Like,
in all seriousness, Ryu is trying to keep Elnath away from the civilians.
Anyway, with that said, we shall wrap up this session here. I hope you all had fun. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Yeah.